Hi, this is Aaron Russell, head coach of your Richmond Spiders women's basketball team, and you are watching the Legacy Maker Sports Network.
Legacy Maker, the All Sports Network.
Welcome to Commonwealth Sports Talk, Season 4, Episode 6, with your hosts, Joe Dillard Jr. and Lamonte Thomas. This week's special guest, Accaiya Evans, Associate Head Track Coach at Tennessee Tech University.
Once again, thank you for your time joining us on Commonwealth Sports Talk. I'm Joe Dillard, my co-host Lamonte Thomas. We just, wanted to introduce ourselves and kind of get started on the right foot.
Appreciate your time. Definitely appreciate you taking the time to come chat it up with us. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate the opportunity. It's nothing like, getting away from work and getting away from the sport, but being able to, politic about the sport, what other sports had. So
I love that train of thought, politic about it. You're like what I call one of the youth from the beginning to the end when it comes to track. Track is life. People say track life. See, She already smiling. I don't even want to finish it, but I guess I'll do it for the audience. So the track life from day one, take me through, when did you first start running? How old were you when you first started running? At a meet. I want to be specific. At a meet.
At a meet?
Yeah.
And my dad had me out there. I think I ran in my first track meet at like 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
I should have put a pool on that one.
For real.
Yeah, 4. I think I was out there as early as 2. So, it is, track is life. I often say I was born into it. I know a lot of things, but I don't know nothing else like I know track. So
definitely understand that. I have a background in track. I ran, we had spoke briefly, obviously, and I ran at Virginia State with Bernard Comer, Richmond. Yeah. Talk to me about East End Lightning and how pivotal having a community track group like that be dominate. I don't even want to use that word dominate, but instrumental in the community, in a pillar there for years and years that your father has led. Can you go and explain the importance of that?
Yes, absolutely. So you use the key word, a pillar in a community. So as long as East End Lightning has been around before that, since I was a kid, running for the West End Striders, and then my father branching off and creating his own team. So he spearheaded a team in Richmond about 30 plus years now. And so it's been instrumental to the development and the popularity of the sport, but just to give young people something to do outside of your common football and basketball. One thing about it, track and field, it accommodates all shapes, sizes, body types, speeds, you don't have to, it's a multitude of things to suit, all age levels and all talent levels. So track in our community in Richmond, across, just the Virginia's a big track state. Yes. A lot of people don't get that. You take Florida, Texas, California out the picture. For Virginia size, it's a big track state.
pound for pound, something like how Sweet Pea as a boxer was called pound for pound toughest. Virginia's pound for pound, one of the toughest track programs in the country.
Across all events too.
Exactly. So to have a dominant track program, track club, that just focuses on the development of young people in general is major coming out the state of Virginia. So
how fun is that, Coach? How fun is that process compared to college? I'm going to keep it separate because I know college is a different animal. Because
two totally different animals.
It's a big difference. We're going to go pre-15 and we'll say, how fun is it to recruit that kid and allow them to get the joy of falling in love with track, or seeing that there's something they're good at, or seeing them run a 101 400 meter and then breaking it down to a 1 minute and then to a 59 and continuing to have a personal record? Like, how essential do you think that is, and how good does that feel? Like, do you recall on those moments when you were helping out with East End and working with the youth? Because I know, like we said, it's night and day with a college system, even some high schools, versus everything underneath.
That's a great question. Yes, definitely. So club track and youth track is fun. You got to make it fun. I know for me, I had so much fun with club and youth track all the way up till I was about 12, 13. And then after that, it really wasn't fun anymore. But then I had to kind of reinvent myself in it and make it fun again. So, but when younger is absolutely incredible to see kids from ages 5 and 6 running, a minute and 30 seconds, which is incredible for that age. And then, kid get to 11 and 12 and they break in a minute, just like you said. I think track and field is a character builder. It separates the strong from the weak in a sense. You really can't hide behind your teammates or hide behind, a poor game, is you and yourself, you and the gun, you and the clock. So I think it's a great character builder. I think it builds a lot of competitiveness. I know for me, that's one of the main things that rolled over into my everyday life, just being able to compete. And so now as an adult, I really don't settle. I'm always pushing for more. I'm like a problem solver, a solution finder. And I got that from the sport. I got that from the sport. I always had to be better. I always had to figure out, how I was going to jump, 5 feet, or how I was going to change my approach to, jump what I needed to jump in the long jump. So,
Coach. Yeah.
In my everyday life, it is one of those things where, I can pull so much from just being an athlete in general.
Absolutely. And, Mom, I'm going to let you jump in, but it's just so much information here in front of me. So I wanted to apologize. The 2020 of winter, if I'm not mistaken, you were named associate head coach at Tennessee Tech, and you are now there with Coach Dalton, Peter Dalton. And then also recently Coach Cox. Talk to me about how good it feels to be a part of the growth that Tennessee Tech, the Golden Eagle program, is trying to build.
Man, you come with all the good loaded questions. So yeah, 2020, winter 2020 is when I started here as an assistant coach. It was January. I was literally here 2 months to the day, and COVID happened. And so I was grateful enough for them to keep all of their coaches on board through the pandemic, through the quarantine period. And coming in, I think we had like 15 ladies on the roster, bare bones. And fast forward 18, 19 months later, we got a program of 30 people or 30 young ladies. I've been promoted to associate head coach. I've been able to bring on an excellent assistant coach who I learn from every day. And I also get to work for an amazing visionary and leader in Coach Dalton. I came in, told them my thoughts, where I come from, what I wanted to do, and who I wanted to be to these ladies and to this program. And so he just gave me the opportunity and I ran with it. Our growth has been, tremendous. I think we finished like 7th in our conference out of 13 schools, something like that, 13, 14 schools. Yeah. And
I think the ladies scored 43 points.
Yeah, and we only had one senior opening a score, one senior score in an open event. One. Everybody on my roster has at least 3 years of eligibility left, and I have.
Holy moly!
Absolutely. So we halfway there. We halfway there.
More than halfway there.
Yeah, we halfway there, man. And it just takes, grinding, like putting your head down every day. It was days where, I worked 13, 14, 3 weeks straight, but I knew what my vision was, and I knew what I had in front of me. And I had a lot of great people in my corner. My dad, for one. I can remember leaving Richmond 3 years ago to pursue, my passion, and he ain't buy into it until about 5 days before I was about to go. And so fast forward, almost 3 years later, I have accomplished something that, a lot of people can't really say. Sometimes I fail to slow down and pat myself on the back, but coming into a university that's never had a female in leadership was major.
There you go.
That was another stat. I don't know if you had that. We throw roses out here. So first woman and African-American at that, and so that's an accomplishment. As you kind of ended it there, I wanted to add on to that. Go ahead, jump in, man. I didn't want to overload.
Nah, well, me still being here, Coach Evans in the RVA area, I still want to shout out that locality for real. Let's talk about where the roots are, in the area. Like what schools you used to working with and working around.
So growing up, I grew up in the West End of Richmond. And I went, to public schools and everything. In high school, of course, club track I ran with my dad. And then in high school, I went to Huguenot. And so my zone school was TJ, but I couldn't go to TJ simply because my dad was the coach at Huguenot.
Right.
So I had to go to Huguenot. I didn't have to, but I chose to. And so, went in as a freshman. My dad was the male's coach, but the female coach said, you're going to be one of the most versatile athletes we got. And that's what I did. I think I don't think it was one meet where I didn't do 6 events.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
three running and three field.
Yeah, 3 running and 3 field. And so by the time I got through high school, I probably competed in every single event except for the pole vault and the steeplechase. I think those might be the only 2 events I've never competed in. And so
those aren't desirable ones.
Right. And so other than that, I always challenged myself. I'd tell my dad to put me in the 3K just because it was only one person in that event. And I knew I was going to leave with a medal. So, I always, regardless of what it was, I always went to the top.
Stop.
That's tough. That's tough.
Stop. I too was a part in high school of a 4x1, and I was like, I'm not even really the fastest. I was like, I gotta win something. This is an eye thing out here in track. So I then started her hurdling. Yeah. And I was like, there ain't that many people that can run fast and hurdle. Yeah. And so that was my train of thought. So listen to you. So you picked your poison at each meet, didn't you?
At each meet, I had my main events, but it was a lot of meets. I just got in a race because there weren't that many in it, or I used it to get in shape. Absolutely. And so it was all good. Once I probably got to like my early senior year in high school, and I think I was probably burnt out by that time. Like, I think I used to quit on my dad every day in practice, every day.
it's that by then, so that people who may not be keeping up, by then that's 12 years of running. That's 13 years of running.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
You can love it all you want, but at the end of the day, you're now becoming a blossoming teenager who's learning life in full.
Absolutely.
And that drill bit just won't nail it. It won't hit in the nail the right way.
It wasn't. But it was interesting. Like my senior year, although as burnt out as I felt like I was, I didn't compete outdoor my senior year. And I didn't think that I wanted to run in college. Like I originally went to VCU. I lived on campus, but I didn't go to school initially to run track. It wasn't until spring of my freshman year when I realized, something was kind of missing. And I wasn't this incredible big D1 athlete or anything like that. I literally just held my own in college. But I'm blessed to say that I was able to compete on a D1 level. And the biggest thing I got out of that was the experience. And so my second year of school, I transferred to George Mason, walked onto their team, had an incredible experience, was on the roster from 06 to 08. And that pretty much ended my track career personally. Never thought I'd be a coach, and here I am.
Never thought it?
Nope, not at all. I graduated college.
You double majored and it wasn't anything pertaining to sports. So
Absolutely not. Yeah. I majored in psychology and child and family studies. And so, right out, but
Lamont gonna say it. I want him to catch up. What were those majors again? What were those degrees in again?
Psychology and child and family studies.
Boom.
Thank you, Mont. How does that translate and correlate, Mont?
Because that's where she sits. That's where she's sitting right now, right? Like you use that. You use the psychology and you use the child studies basically to implement yourself, to make yourself basically a staple in the future's lives, right?
Absolutely. Just being a better person. It helps. I use my degrees every day. Had no idea that I would use them in this facet, but I have a passion for behavioral health, mental health, and to be able to combine that with a gift and do that every day. And then my desire to work in higher education. A lot of people can't say they're able to take like 3 things that they're super passionate about and go to work every day.
Right.
That's dope, because it's funny. We talk about the psyche of athletes and coming over a pandemic and needing to have somebody with a strong spirit, a strong mind, a strong concept of morals to kind of guide them through things that are untapped situations that they haven't experienced before. So, we spoke earlier in season 2, Mont. The seasons are rolling so fast, but I'll just say the name. So now basketball coach at Virginia Union, Tiara Terry, who has her degree in psychology, has also used that to her strength, to understanding how to get the maximum out of the athlete, but yet still understand enough to care and treat them like a human instead of just an athlete, and even just a student athlete. They are a human first. So
absolutely,
they come to the track, they come to the court, they come to wherever, and they have to pretty much leave everything behind just to take on what the coach needs them to accomplish. And as a teenager, as a college person, I know you deal with that every day. So talk to me about how you think that is a key tool for you in the wheel that you've been spinning with this new program.
You brought up a valid point. You said human. People often ask me sometimes people ask me what I do, or whenever I have to talk about my job, I always include the word humanitarian, because there's no way you can include humanitarian and be a great coach. It's bigger than, I say often, 10%, I'm on a track blowing a whistle and click the stopwatch 10% of the time. The other 90% is everything else. And a part of that 90%, 50% is just their mental, the mental state of the program. Starting this program and building it in the midst of a pandemic year was very challenging. You got recruiting, which was to a standstill and a halt, no face-to-face, no off-campus. So I'm talking to these ladies and recruiting them and basically selling myself in the program to these ladies and their families. Not even meeting them a day in my life, only through the phone, and convincing them that they need to come and be a part of my program. And so in the process of doing that, I had to talk a lot about, the support and what we bring to the table as a program from the mental health standpoint, from the developmental standpoint, from the standpoint of seeing them grow. And we pride ourselves on valuing our people first. My top tier responsibility is their development, their growth, and just their experience overall. And all of those that just, my degrees and everything that I've done leading up to this just helps me, go to work every day and be able to provide what it is that I provide off the track.
That's why I gave you a long-winded question, because it deserved a long-winded answer with such good jewels in there.
Yeah, man. I want to talk a little bit about you helping mid-distance runners too, right? Because you've done that at VU, and I'm gonna light up.
Knew it was coming.
Yes, you know it's coming because listen, Accaiya, in high school for me, I was a mid-distance guy, right? So it was 800 for me. That was my race. And I feel like it was so important to see the representation, right? That I didn't see. At least about that time, which was the same time you were in high school, for what I understand. So like, my coach, he was a sprint guy and a jump guy, but the fact that he related to us, and again, I got to see that representation and got to feel like I belong, to a mid distance. Can you talk a little bit about like what you bring to the table and how you can, I guess, like transfer that energy from when you were an athlete to now being in that coaching role for everybody and what they do on your team?
That's another good question. So just so you know, I was an 800 runner.
I know.
Yeah, I was an 800 runner. / 400 hurdler. I was kind of never able to do both because they were back to back, but the 800 is probably my favorite event to coach. Man. And I would even go to say that if I had 800 is my favorite event to coach, but I've had the most fun coaching distance. And my career is nowhere near ending, and I'm sure every other year that'll change, but I absolutely loved and enjoyed coaching distance in Union. It was my first opportunity.
Frank Charles would he would love that.
Yeah, right. That's my guy.
5,000 meter and the 1,600 meter.
Yeah, that's my guy. Absolutely one of my favorite group of people to coach. I still keep in contact with all of them till this day. I was young, 24, 25 years old. They were 18 through 22. So our age ranges weren't far apart. So I was super grateful that they gave me a chance. Like they knew I was young. They knew that, I was their first group, but they were patient with me. I think 2012, I started off with Frank. Mind you, I was just a volunteer entire time at Union. Cross country championship and everything, volunteer. Wow. I would go every day, me and Frank, and just a few others. By year 3, coach had recruited a couple people. I had 8 guys. I had 5 that could really do some damage. I think year 2, I lost conference championships to George Williams, the great George Williams, by like the skin of my teeth. And so I was like, I'm not going to do another year of this, but some kept telling me like, no, you're going to get it. I knew that I could get it. And so I can remember like July, August, and everybody workouts, preseason training coming in. I mean, from there moving forward, it was just the guys bought in. We practiced hard, was teaching kindergarten, lead Fox, go to Union every day, run them hard. Yeah, getting it done, man. And before you know it, they went down to the HBCU Classic. Back then, it was like this HBCU championship. I think they finished 3rd overall amongst all HBCUs. And that was between the MAC, the MEAC, the SEAC, the CIAA, and the SWAC, and they finished 3rd.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, we gonna win a conference championship. And so, it happened. It happened just like that. I kind of, in a sense, manifested it. I talked about it, and just laid a brick every day. And October, I never forget it. It was the day of my birthday, October 23rd. It was the first conference championship that Union had ever won in cross country. It was the first championship that the head coach had won, and it was my first championship that I had won. At 25, I think I was 25, and I think that within itself says a lot.
Oh, that's
what dreams are made of, right there. Yeah?
That's dope. That was a P quote right there.
So you went to Union Lamonte?
No. I actually went to VCU for school. Okay. Well, yeah, for undergrad. Yeah, but my freshman year of high school, I went to the old Clover Hill.
Okay.
And then my family moved up towards Petersburg area, so I finished out in Colonial Heights.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
You don't need to ask me.
Man, no, I like State though. I like Virginia State. I'm a fan of Virginia State. I'm a fan of Virginia State.
I didn't want to say it because I always, when I do my show, I always throw the love that way. I don't try to, bring love to 1882 Trojan land, the land of Troy, all of the things that we are. But, we got a track program as well that we put pride in too. So I just love your growth. I love that you come from Richmond and you stayed in Richmond and you gave back to Richmond and the fruit fell from the tree. And it's almost like how Coach Dalton is like, got it figured out somehow, because he looked at your resume and said, she's a grinder, a winner, and does it for love, because you said the V word, and volunteer at a collegiate level. So then you go to Coach Cox, who also volunteered prior years. And now he gets the reward of being on the coaching staff. So that's dope how the progression is seen. In previous episodes, we've had people that start from ground up and continue to open the doors. I love it when somebody goes one place and just moves up one. That's that boss level up. It's like, you hired me for a job, I did a good job, and you think I can do another job. And that's speaking volumes of the work. That's speaking volumes of your relationship with them. And that's just my shout out to you, Coach.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Problem solver and solution finder. I will use those quotes. I promise you that. I like how that was worded. Being that Virginia has so much great talent, but you're in Tennessee, how do you balance the lifestyles of Tennessee life versus VA life when it comes to recruiting?
It's a good question. Totally different. Tennessee is a great state for distance. Anything mile and up, you're going to get a quality amount of athletes, a high quality amount of athletes. But when it comes to sprint, jumps, hurdles, nowhere near as much talent as Virginia. So, my overall goal when it comes to recruiting here at Tech is to win the state first. If I can win a state and get the sprint, jump, hurdle talent within the state, then I know, that's the first part. And then, branch out to out of state, the things that I can't get in state. So the great thing is Tennessee is a bordering state to Virginia. So when it comes time to recruit, I don't have to really go far.
Exactly.
I can mix it in with when I'm going home. Like this past summer in July, I was home for 18 days. The first 5 days I spent with family. I was meet director to meet my dad, did a big appreciation cookout for him, spent 4 days and went to DC and recruit, went down to Hampton a day, and then came on back to Tennessee. So that's the beauty about being from Virginia. I don't have to do a whole lot to, I can go work a track meet, recruit at the meet, fly back, see family. So it's been great being able to recruit so close to home, but not be so far away.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a great advantage for you in this collegiate situation, how it's the Ohio Valley Conference.
Yes.
And everybody that you're playing is to the west of this East Coast line. So you leaving Tennessee to come home is going east, which is away from any other collegiate schools within the conference. So it almost allows you to have this 95 advantage.
Absolutely.
And we all know how hard it is to recruit in 95. So to have a different lane for the athlete, I think that's amazing, because I think you understand as a collegiate athlete what it takes. I mean, it takes dedication, but it also takes perseverance, because it's not just for anybody, especially how high school track is. Like, I coach high school track now, and I'm thinking hey, coach, send me some of your workouts. And then I thought to myself, I said, I need to focus on the fun part, because I am building you gotta understand.
No, I can still give you some things.
We're gonna break some bread. Absolutely.
It can always be, broken down. It ain't difficult. It don't take a rocket scientist. It really don't, coach. It don't. And you know this. You know this. You're a coach. It don't take a rocket scientist, but I get what you're saying. You know, is on that level is definitely aligned. And what you said about the 95 thing, from 85 all the way up 95. Come on, you want to come on a visit? Come on.
Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
So, you know, my roster's full. I mean, I got a young lady all the way from up north is Baltimore in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and I got a young lady all the way down south is Miami. So
Commonwealth, we got support with you.
Up and down 95, just like you said.
That's how it works. See, I'm in Northern Virginia, Monson,
Okay.
Central Virginia, and the other cast is in the 757. So we've got all three angles of Virginia. Just like when you said you traveled, I was like, you went to see Mont area, came to my area, and then went to my other people's area. It's like you hit the three areas that we're familiar with. I mean, you said DC, but that's Beltway. Anything Beltway, Northern Virginia still gets credit for.
Yeah, DMV.
Oh yeah, for sure.
DMV.
Absolutely.
What part of Northern Virginia you live in?
I am in Prince William, which is the very beginning part. Okay,
I know exactly where you are.
One of the biggest freaking counties in the state, the third, I think, but one of the biggest. And I am like on the western part, so I'm like very close in the mountains by Manassas and 66, Battlefield, Patriot High School. I am now at a new high school called Gainesville High School. They opened just today. So it was awesome to start that track program, and that's why I had asked you, because this is day one. No seniors. It's kind of like how you were referring. It's no seniors. Of course, the high schoolers have run track before and probably done programs, but you want to make a community and family environment from scratch. That's the formula right there that you get an opportunity to do. So we definitely going to have to chop it up some more.
Absolutely. I can get you what you need as far as getting them summer training and getting them into some meets in the summer. I can't do it, but I can get you in touch with you.
I was about to say, between you and Bernard, y'all all I need. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Bernard gave me all the sprint and speed. You know, I'm just a jumps guy. I can't even.
Coma got you. Got you.
Yeah, Coma the guy. Coma my guy. I'm gonna go to the Legion of Zoom and be like, I need that speed. And I got Evans over there giving me that long lasting endurance.
Coma the next best thing in Richmond.
Let's say that again. I love it.
Legion is on the next best thing in Richmond.
I love it.
We've been watching it close. That's for sure.
You know, he was our first guest, right?
I ain't surprised. I mean, y'all went to Virginia State together. Of course, you're gonna be biased and do that.
That's it. That's it. I like that. That's that.
Come on, I already know that you're gonna be biased, and he a track guy. I mean, that only makes sense.
That's that.
He was the first guest. He was.
Yeah, and I mean, Coleman went to TJ, you know, from the West, so you know, I can't even not.
Exactly, and I knew y'all knew it too, and that's what I was saying. I was like, yeah, they gonna have some of the same type of mentalities and tendencies. So I wouldn't mind pulling from those two to see what's in the juice out there in that 804. But Coach, man, it's been nothing short of great. Like I said, we're gonna keep in touch.
Absolutely.
I've got some people that are starting to really learn Commonwealth sports talk. Could you believe it? So with that being said, you know, we'll throw anything when we get some bones towards you, because, you know, we look out and help our own. And that's pretty much what we're doing this for.
Absolutely. Thank you. Like I said, I'm just honored. I appreciate you reaching out to me, trusting me to come on your podcast and, you know, just talk sports. It is nothing like talking sports outside of working in sports. So it's been great. Love the conversation.
Absolutely.
I could talk to you guys all day.
See, and I'm this is the Pandora's box. So I'm going to shoot down real quick. Just talk to me, okay? You got to give me like one sentence worth of an answer of the subject. So, Allison Felix, 11th gold medal. Thoughts?
I mean, greatness. Like, ain't no question. Greatest of all time. Women's track. I mean, you got Flojo, all of them, but Allison, look how long she's been doing it. She's been in her prime as long as anybody.
Goated.
Been great.
Yeah.
What about, and you said 400 hurdles. What about this beautiful rivalry between Sydney McLaughlin and Delilah Muhammad? Like, isn't that the most beautiful thing to watch them two just bounce back and forth in just 2016, then 2020? Like,
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I honestly don't call it a rivalry. I'm with them. Like a lot of people call it a rivalry, but they definitely, if it wasn't for each other, they wouldn't have been able to run the times that they've run. It's a really healthy competition, but it's beautiful for the sport.
It sure
I think
is.
after this year, a lot more people are watching track and field because of people like them.
Oh, the women did their thing. As
Absolutely.
far as America goes.
Yeah, they did.
As far as America goes, and there's so many other great stories throughout the Olympics, and I'm a big advocate of the Olympics. Over on my shoulder, obviously, I have a couple of Olympic signs. Jesse Owens is my guy, first of all,
Okay.
first and foremost. So Jesse is the guy, but of course, you see the big poster behind. So I believe track is the ultimate thing that brings everybody together.
Absolutely. And that's because it's individualized to some extent.
Yeah.
And I got another one that's better for you. It's because every sport can relate and use it.
Absolutely. And people don't understand that.
True.
Like people don't understand.
So true.
Your kid don't have to be on the track team, but they need to learn the correct way to run and use mechanics and technique and all of those things. I mean, if you got football players that ain't doing hurdle mobility, then you ain't coaching right.
Yep. And don't think the offensive line ain't supposed to be doing my shot put or discus, because that's how it works.
That's footwork right there.
And I'm telling you, that's why I love, and I'm not going to lie, Coach. I wasn't – the way you described your junior, senior year is the way I felt my junior, senior year of college. I was worn out because I did not run properly until freshman year of college. And on top of that, the college volume of running – the season is way longer than anything that you've ever had before. And so it was just grueling to get.
On a collegiate level, the only month we have that we're not competing is July.
I knew it.
Yeah, and that's preseason for cross country, because our first cross country meet is this Saturday. And then you're going all year round. And if you make it all the way to NCAA Nationals, that's in June.
I used to mentally be a football player in August because I saw the Comers go play football. I had to do it. Y'all ain't got to run these cross-country runs we got to run. I ain't running cross-country.
I had to do. My school only had 800 people in it up at Colonial Heights. So I actually played football and ran cross-country in the same season.
God, son.
My freshman year of high school, though, I played basketball because I played basketball for like 4 or 5 years. You couldn't pay me to think I was going to be the basketball player. But then, I'm small, so I drove to the hole a couple times, and then people started slapping me. After my 10th grade year, I was done. I was done. Yeah, track was I realized, track my thing. Like, I'm gonna just stick to this. This is what I was a good basketball player, but I was a better track athlete. So
I can see it.
Yes, we did. And that's what we're seeing you put in front with your athletes you have now. So we're just, once again, thanking you for your time. And thank you for rescheduling. I hope family's doing well.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you being flexible.
No, that talk we had was genuine. I love that talk. I know you was in a different space and everything with your mind, but I just hope you were able to appreciate or recognize that was a good, genuine talk we had. And so,
absolutely,
it's all good over here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, until next time.
Thank you, absolutely. Coach Evans. You have a good one.
Appreciate it, and good luck to you.
Thank you. Same there.